Welcome to another installment of Sunset Soliloquies. I'm Bart Loeser, and I wanted to follow up on our last talk about the importance of attitude, and more importantly, how to see the right attitude about making change in your life. Now, making the changes we want to make, especially to habits, are not easy. It generally takes about 30 to 40 days to change a habit. Now, some of you may have heard 21 days, which is about how long it takes before a habit begins to get easier. So imagine how difficult it is for those first 3 weeks. So one of the challenges that we have, though, is to keep ourselves focused on that path long enough to be making this change consistently. Well, one of the first things you want to do about attitude is to look at failure not as a bad thing, but as a good thing. Failure is actually a great thing as long as you learn from it. It's the most powerful lessons that we learn from in life. But to do so, you generally have to follow 3 steps. So the first step is you've got to notice what you're going for, what you want, what's getting in your way. You've got to pay attention. The second thing is you've got to own the fact that you're the one making the choices. So when things aren't going your way, I want to look at the issue of who's making the choices here. You can't really blame other people and other things for what's going on or the choices you're making. But the other thing to think about is you also don't want to have excuses for the choices you're making because, again, who's in charge here? Who's driving the car? And the third piece is don't beat yourself up. The most important thing to keep in mind is all you want to do is to notice the changes you want to make and what's getting in your way. Own the fact that some of those things are choices we're making. And if you're making choices that aren't working well for you, come up with a way to fix it. So keep in mind that it does take, again, about 30 to 40 days to change that habit. So it's going to take a lot of work, and those first 21 days are difficult. And when you fall down, it's not the end of your world. Keep in mind that nothing's impossible I have found, for when my chin is on the ground, I pick myself up, dust myself off, and start all over again. Good luck this year in making those changes.